Breaking news. The difference between a bum and a hobo. I have to say breaking news as quickly as possible, because it seems like there are at least 1 to 2 breaking news articles a day lately. This is my only chance to say breaking news. I know we're not supposed to talk about bums. It's politically incorrect. But that incorrectness comes from the misconception that a bum is homeless, that a homeless person is a bum, that a bum is a hobo, that a hobo is a bum, and these things. I mean, we look at these terms that we've had through the years, and it was after the Great Depression that hobos showed up. My dad, living along the tracks in the fields up north of Gaylord, Michigan, they have hobos walking the tracks. You know, in the early 40s even. My dad was born in 40, so as a little kid, there were still hobos, and there are the people that just walked the tracks. There were no jobs, so they hit the road in the Great Depression, and it just carried over. You know, people got used to feeling like the animal that they were born to be, and they get to just be free nomads, stop in at a farm every once in a while, do some work. And then my dad said, yeah, guys would come up and he'd say, ma'am. And my mother, grandmother, his mother, she would say, yeah. And he said, like some food, ma'am, willing to work for it. And she's like, okay. And she'd take them out and they'd chop wood, and she'd feed them first, because they were respectable hobos. They were doing the work. Chop some wood, you know, check the chickens, whatever they had to do around the farm. Maybe bale some hay if it was the time of the season for hobos. But that's a hobo. Somebody that's moving, but working for his meal. And then you take a bum, they're just standing around, hey man, hey, hey, hey. They have a sign that says, not gonna lie, I just wanna buy a beer. The first time I ever saw that, I found that interesting and funny. And then I saw everybody had it. I said, you didn't even come up with that on your own. You're just stealing other people's ideas now. It's not so fucking humorous. Get a job. Something like that, you know? Homeless people, they're homeless people. You help them if you can. But you can see a bum from a mile away. So the one time, there was my roommate's cousin had a friend, but my roommate's cousin, she wanted to go out with this guy, but she's like, I just met him and I need somebody else there. So I was the double date guy to his cousin's friend, and I was just there. And he happened to be a cop, and he was very quiet. He'd just look at me. I find that cops, if I can get in with them, they're a great time, because they party like firemen. They party like soldiers as long as they trust who they're with. So usually I have a good time. I drank with the Secret Service in Kalamazoo. Those people are serious. No kidding about that. The Secret Service, they just sit there and watch, and you feel empowered in their presence, and you go, hey, shut the fuck up. They're happy. They don't have to deal with it when you're attacking other people around you. So that's cool. But this cop, we had beers, and we said, well, we'll go over to this other place. And we're walking to this other place, the four of us, and there was an old man. He was a bum, standing on the corner. He said, hey, brother, you got a quarter? Everybody else was going to ignore him, but I'm like, And I pulled out of my pocket, I had $2 worth of quarters. And I said, I do have a quarter, but I'll give you all this if you'll dance for me. And he's like, well, I can do that. And he started dancing. He's on the street corner. And I said, ha, ha, ha. And I started dancing with him. I'm on a date with a cop. And this cop just didn't find any of it very entertaining, but I found it wondrous, because what I did in that moment was I took and I turned this bum into a hobo. That's a step up. And he was happy. He felt good about earning the money that he just made. But then you'd have the other guys in San Jose State. When I was at San Jose State, they'd walk around and they'd just bum you. And they had things like, you got 50 cents for the bus, 85 cents for the bus, or something like that. They come to you. There would be times that I'd be walking down the street and I could see one of them coming. There was one time I just looked really angry. I said, and I was walking like I was going to fucking kill somebody. And the guy, when he walked by me, he says, sorry, brother. He apologized to me for nothing. So I'd fuck with the bums and get a job. Young enough and strong enough. If you got a good mind in your head, you can get a job. It's always been that way. Depends on how much of yourself you want to give to be more of yourself. Who do you become? But there'd be others. There'd be a guy I'd be walking up on, and as he was about to say something, I'd look at him and I'd say, hey man, you got $1? And he's like, oh, no, sorry. And I'd keep walking, didn't have to be bothered by him. There was one other guy. It was one of these people that asks for 85 cents. Hey, brother, you got 85 cents? I just need 85 more cents for the bus. And I pulled out my wallet, and I looked, and I said, oh, man. I said, all I've got left is $1. Is that okay? And he said, oh, yeah, that's right. I said, fuck you. I'm not giving my last $1, and I'd walk off. I've done that too. But that's the point. Not giving you my last $1. I've been standing across from the Cinnabar, what they call the Sin Bar. It's on San Fernando, right across from the university, somewhere there at San Jose State. I was on 90.5. I'm from KSJS, San Jose at the time. So I know I've told these stories, but you probably weren't around, and the live stream had just started there in the late 90s, early 2000s, so you might have missed it. And here it is. I'm standing across from the Cinnabar in the afternoon. I was walking down the sidewalk, and I just stopped. And I remember, I realized as I was doing it, I caught myself in it. I'm just staring at the bar, at the window that says bar open, and I was so broke. I thought, geez, if only I had enough to buy one beer. All I wanted was to sit down and drink a beer, but I didn't have the money to spare for it. That's when you know you're broke. And so, like with that guy with the $1, I'm not giving you my last $1. You don't want me to give you my last $1, because I'm still living in a house at this point, about to be in the street, but I'm still strong and fed to a certain extent. If I give you my last $1, that means I'm fucking broke. Now I have to bum. And if I have to bum next to you, oh, you're gonna lose, because I know you're supposed to be up all night and sleep in the day for safety. But if it's me against you, oh, you fucker, I will take over this town. See? You can't give somebody the last of what you have to make their life better. You have to be able to take care of yourself first before you can help others and continue to help others. But now, breaking news. Yeah, they just came out. That poor guy just got fined another $335 million, I guess. Some 350, I don't know. Which, with interest on the money he's had all the time, will probably take him over $500 million. Add that to the case where the judge says he raped her. There's another. Between the two, after he wouldn't shut the fuck up, he got another one for 83.3. That's close to $90 million. So they say that poor guy has only about $400 million fluid, liquidated funds, dollar in hand. And he's got this 335, another 83. He's already over $400 million. And he's got to put bonds down if he wants to appeal or just pay them. He doesn't get to hold on to the money himself. He's going to be selling his shit to get rid of things. And all the people that have been supporting his lawyers all this time, saying, yeah, that's our guy, we need to help him. None of us have enough, especially if you count the really smaller amount of people that support that poor guy. They're the only people that would ever give. And they don't have enough to give as much as he wants, but he's going to keep asking for more. And it's going to stop. People are going to quit donating to his funds and saying, I don't care if he's a criminal or not. He's on my side. He's not on your side. You know that. You know that. He's on his side. But what they're realizing now that he is completely broke and still asking for money, he's not working for it. Well, you could call it entertainment, just like that bum that I turned into a hobo by making him dance. I guess he's entertaining people by making them upset and angry and being the fool, the clown that behold the pale horse. Always said that the Priori Zion, I believe, said that they will make a president out of a clown, and he will be a clown president, and they'll be able to, the world will be able to use him. The darker powers, in which we can say are Russia and all these other damn people that don't want to have to answer to us, they're somehow making him believe he answers to them, but they're making him believe that he's got some say in it, and they don't. They're just playing him. But the thing is, the people, a bum, homeless, hobo, he's a bum. And people are going to stop giving to him because we all know that when you give your last dollar to a bum, you're on the bum same as they are. Only you'll be living in the streets. And like OJ did when he lost all his money, they still left him enough to live somehow. This fucker's still going to be living strong on your money. And he won't appreciate it. It's just like Nietzsche said. I think it was in Beyond Good and Evil. He said, we should do away with bums because when we give to them, we resent them for taking it. And when they take from us, they resent us for not having given enough. You bum! He's a bum!